Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video I'm finally wrapping it up with part 4 of my spring nail polish rack, even though it is the beginning of summer. So this one is going to be posting late, but I thought better late than never. So in today's video we are going to be going over this swatch wheel here. We have a lot of the mint shades and then we go into some crellies, even a couple of yellows, as well as some toppers. So let's go ahead and see what's on this wheel. The first one is a different dimension glitter polish, and this one is called Slay Your Own Dragons. This came from a fairy tale collection or something along those lines, and it had amazing names. This polish is also absolutely beautiful. As you can see, it's got a mixture of glitter in here from metallic to iridescent. This one is going to dry textured because it is all glitter. But as you can see, it is in a clear base, so this does have slight topper possibilities, but it is meant to be worn as a polish by itself. It is just that jam-packed full of glitter. So here is Slay Your Own Dragons in 2 coats. I mean, look how jam-packed that is. I mean, that is full coverage glitter. Longer nails, I think, might need a third. As you can see, there's a little bit of areas where you might be able to see your visible nail line, but for myself, at my nail length anyways, I think I would be so distracted by all of the shinies that I don't think I would need a third coat to reach full opacity. Also, I've been noticing that for polishes where I'm sort of hemming and hawing if I need a third, I'm usually fine with just the 2 once I have it on and put a glossy top coat. From far away it looks good, so I usually just end up leaving it in the 2 coats. But as I mentioned, this one definitely dries textured. I mean, that is very, very glittery. So when I wear this on its own, I'll probably end up adding a glitter smoother and then a top coat to get it nice and glossy. So that was Different Dimensions Slay Your Own Dragons. Next up is a Bee's Knees lacquer, and this one is Love Enduring 2.0. And this one is an absolutely gorgeous color. Look at that beautiful minty shade, and then it is just full of that amazing shimmer. It goes from red to green to gold. This one also has the holographic flakies that I really enjoy in polish. You're going to get that slightly speckled look on the nail. Here's Love Enduring 2.0 in 2 coats. I think I ended up doing everything in 2 coats, but this is one that I would say probably needs a third coat for full opacity. But again, on my nail lengths, 2 might be okay. It just depends on how visible your nail line is. But look at that glow. You have those beautiful flakies dispersed across the nail, and then you have that beautiful glow from that shimmer. So that one was Bee's Knees Lacquer, Love Enduring 2.0. Next up is a flaky polish from Fancy Gloss, and this one is Mermaid Tears. This is one that came from the same line or collection as a lot of the other jelly flaky polishes, like this one here. That one was Enchanted Coral. So she has an entire line or a couple of lines or collections that have these squishy bases loaded with iridescent flakies, and I have quite a few, and they always end up on my spring racks because they are so soft and ethereal on the nail. This is the green, and as you can see on camera, it is a very soft green. The flakies in here are very prominent. You get glows of pinks, golds, oranges, and then at the other side over here you get purples and pinks. So really gorgeous combination. And here is Mermaid Tears in 2 coats. This is another one where I feel like a lot of nail lengths might need a third coat to reach full opacity, but again, it just depends on how you like to wear this kind of polish. If you like the more ethereal, soft look where you do see some nail through, this would be perfect in those 2 coats. If you wanted a bit more of the color to show through, because as you can see, it is a bit on the squishy side, you would probably need a third coat, or as I've done with the mani that I'm wearing today, I just did 1 coat of the flakies on top of a cream polish, and that was actually Merci Beau-Blue. So I wore this polish and then I did 1 coat of another polish we're going to be looking at today, which was BCB Lacquer's Keep Calm and Drink Arizona. So that's how it looks when you wear 1 coat of a shearer polish over a cream versus how it looks on its own. But this is that one from Fancy Gloss. You also get that really beautiful shimmer throughout, that very prominent pink glow, and I love the oranges and golds that you're seeing there as well. So that one was Fancy Gloss's Mermaid Tears. Next up is one from Enchanted, and this one is Daydream. This one is a soft green, kind of again in the mint family, but not quite as bright as some of the mints that I have. This one I thought would be a perfect color to pick for spring. It's also full of that holographic, and there's also a little bit of shimmer there as well. So here is Daydream in 2 coats. We are dealing with a cream finish here. So as you can see in those 2 coats, you are at full opacity. I really don't see any other nail lengths needing a 3rd coat to reach more opacity, but you do still get a nice glow from that hollow. I will say the shimmer is not quite as prominent or noticeable on the nail, but again, you do get that little bit of a gleam when it catches the light, but a nice soft, delicate spring color there. So that one was Enchanted's Daydream. Next up, moving into our greens, our more true greens, is a Bee's Knees lacquer, and this one is Magic is Life. And this one is a bit more of a springy green, a pastel green, just compared to the other one that we looked at, which was Love Enduring. Hopefully you can see the tonal differences. There's a bit more blue in Love Enduring as opposed to the truer green that is in Magic is Life. And Magic is Life is definitely a shearer polish. You are dealing with a shimmer base, so you have this larger particle, which is one of my favorite things to see in a polish, and it is just jam-packed full of glow. So there you're seeing the pink, but then as you shift the bottle, you're getting this brilliant, like orange-leaning gold, which just pops right there. I mean, look at that. That is like sunshine, orange yellow. It is stunning. You still get the pinks and a bit more of an orange there, some gold, some green, pinks, purples, blues. I mean, this has every single color of the rainbow. It is spectacular. So here is Magic is Life in 2 coats. And like I said, it's a sheer polish. You definitely won't get this fully opaque all on its own, especially in these 2 coats. But what I love about this kind of polish is, again, its versatility. Adding 1 layer of this over any color will achieve this beautiful glow with all of that amazing shimmer. But if you wanted an ethereal look on your nail, you could do this in 2 or 3 coats and see how you like it. I mean, you're still going to get that amazing pop of shimmer. You might not get as green. You probably won't get as green as it is in the bottle, but you're still going to get that shifting glow, which is perfect for spring. I thought that would be just gorgeous on the nail. So that was Bee's Knees Lacquer, Magic is Life. And the other green, the one that I'm actually wearing, BCB Lacquer's Keep Calm and Drink Arizona. This one originally came out in one of the indie mixtape boxes, and this is another beautiful green with flakies. Just to compare it in the bottle to that one from Fancy Gloss, you can see that there are different shifts in those flakies. In the Fancy Gloss, you have slightly different shifts. You've got more of a pink up front in the Fancy Gloss, where you have a bit more of a pink and purple up front with the one from BCB Lacquers. And the opacity is a little bit more opaque in the BCB. So here's that BCB in 2 coats all on its own, and then 1 coat over the cream polish that I was wearing from Color Club. I really love the flakies in this one, and you definitely do get that pinch of a color with those 2 coats all on its own, but I was also really happy with how it turned out in 1 coat over a cream. So again, very versatile. You can wear it on its own, over a mint shade, or over a lighter color like this shade here from Enchanted to give yourself just that boost in opacity and a bit of color underneath. But I mean, look at that huge flaky just sitting there. Absolutely gorgeous. So that one was BCB Lacquer's Keep Calm and Drink Arizona. And another green, we have another Bee's Knees lacquer, and this one is Sunflowers. This one has reflective glitter in it and is another shade that is more of a yellow leaning green, but that's also because there is that very prominent gold shimmer in here, and then the reflective glitters are blue. So I thought this was a really interesting combination, and I liked how it looked on the nail for spring. So here it is in 2 coats. Now again, because this does have those reflective glitters, this one is going to dry a bit textured. So depending on how thick it ends up on your nails, you might need a glitter smoother to make this nice and smooth and then apply your top coat. Really pretty. So that one was Bee's Knees Lacquer, Sunflowers. Now we're getting into our yellow greens. The first one is from Fancy Gloss, and that is Fairy Garden. So this is another in that line that I was talking about of their squishy jelly bases that have a ton of flakies. So just to compare it to Mermaid Tears, you can see how much more yellow green that one is compared to our bluer green or aqua even in Mermaid Tears. And here is Fairy Garden in 2 coats. Definitely more of a yellow green, and I want to say slightly more opaque than I was able to get Mermaid Tears on my swatches anyways. You can see that little bit of a creaminess in that green base, and then the flakies of course are just jam-packed. You get the pinks and oranges, a bit of gold at the edges. So that one was Fancy Gloss's Fairy Garden. Next up is one from Moonshine Manny, and this one is Safe to Sage 2.0. This one I believe I got in a mystery box, and I thought it would be perfect for spring. It is a dusty sage green, and it is loaded with these little tiny multi-chrome flakies and a scattering of hollow. So I love this finish. This is one of my favorite finishes in general. And here it is in 2 coats. I really like how the flecks of those multi-chrome flakies look in this base. I basically like how those look in just about every single color. And yeah, just a nice spring speckled look on the nail, and a pretty unique color to my collection as well. So that one was Moonshine Manny's Safe to Sage 2.0. And next up is one that I have worn. This is from Grim and Glamorous, and this one is called Zombies Eating Brains. So this is a polish brand that doesn't make polish anymore. I forget if they closed down in general or if they were going to just shut down their nail polish line and focus more on makeup, but I got this through their Etsy store a few years ago, and this one is a light, dusty, yellow leaning green. And what I thought was really special about this is that mix of glitter. We have this really cute springy mix of glitters. We've got baby pink matte glitters, yellow matte glitters, and white matte glitters. There's also these very light green matte glitters, or maybe even like a satin finish. You see those there? I mean, just the subtlest soft green in this yellow leaning green base. I think there you can see that color difference between the bluer green in the glitters and the yellow green in the base. So here is Zombies Eating Brains in 2 coats. I mean, as you can see, it is jam-packed full of those glitters. I would say some people might need a glitter smoother to smooth this one out when you wear it. I know I wore this and I actually forgot if I ended up using a glitter smoother or not, but it was very cute on. And again, I love the springy mix of those pink, yellow, and white glitters. And you do see those little green ones, although I will say they don't really seem to add much in the way of colorful impact on the nail. You're mainly seeing the pink and the yellow, but very cute and unique spring polish there. So that one was Grim and Glamorous, Zombies Eating Brains. Next up we have one from a Nostalgic Nail Lacquer, and this one is called Karma Chameleon. I want to say this is another one that I either got through a D-stash or through a mystery box, and again I thought it would be perfect for spring. You have this white crelly base loaded with a springy mix of glitters. We have more pinks and yellows, this time they are metallic. You also have some purple and blue. There are larger green glitters as well, so a variety of colors and shapes in here as well as sizes. Here's Karma Chameleon in 2 coats. Again, nice scattering of glitters in this one. Maybe not as jam-packed as Zombies Eating Brains, but I was totally okay with it in 2 coats. But if you wanted a bit more glitter, you could always add a 3rd coat. But I thought that was another really cute glitter mix for spring. So that one was Nostalgic Nail Lacquer's Karma Chameleon. And next up is one of our yellows. This one comes from Vapid, and this one is Austera. And this is one of the few yellows that I actually enjoyed. I don't remember if I wore this as an accent nail or a half mani. What I had done for a lot of my spring manis is actually wear one nail polish on one hand and a second polish on the other, sometimes with a tie-in with an accent nail. But this is a really sweet buttercream yellow, and as you can see, you've got this complementary golden gleam in it. This whole collection, at least of the ones that I've seen, I really enjoy. This one and the mini bottle that I got of Ishtar actually came to me in a mystery box, and if you've been keeping track of my haul from the estate lot of over 2,000 polishes, I actually ended up with a full size of both of these so far. So really excited to be able to play around with these some more and not worry about running out. I also got the orange, which I can't think offhand of what it was called, but it's a slightly orangier pink than this one. Maybe it was their red in that collection, but again, love this collection. I thought it was absolutely adorable. So here is Austera in 2 coats. Again, a beautiful buttercream yellow. The subtle shimmer isn't really noticeable on the nail. I would say maybe in direct sunlight you probably get that bit of a glow, but it adds a nice sheen to the nail. And again, this is one of those shades of yellow that I surprised myself at liking and sort of opened my eyes to trying other polishes in the same shade range of a yellow that have this creamy, soft look to them. And of course, this type of yellow is just perfect for spring. So that one was Vapid's Austera. Next up was sort of the oddball that I threw in. I thought it would be an unusual shade for spring. This comes from Different Dimension, and this one is Mystery Prototype 289. This one is kind of like a honey mustard, like the honey mustard dip that you get for your chicken nuggets. And what I thought was really interesting is this one has a bright pink to fuchsia shifting shimmer, which again is really unusual in this base. So here's that Mystery Prototype in 2 coats, and as you can see, you definitely get that glow of that pink through this honey mustard color. This I think could make a nice color for an early fall polish as well, which I'll probably end up doing because I didn't end up wearing this one for my spring rack. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm getting ready to put together my summer rack here, which you'll probably actually see the part 1 of before you'll see this one posted because the collab is tomorrow and I am a bit behind. But yeah, really interesting color there, very unique. So that one was Different Dimension, Mystery Prototype 289. Now we're moving on to our shearer polishes. This first one is All Mixed Up Lacquers, Slushy Wasted. This one I think I ended up getting on her website, I think as an overpour. And I love this one. This is so cute. It is a very sheared out shimmer base that is a light off-white, and then it's loaded with a pink shimmer and these metallic holographic flakies. These are gorgeous. You have a lot of different colors. You've got greens, pinks, purples, and then of course, because of the holographic nature of them, you're going to get rainbows in those flakies as well. Here is Slushy Wasted in 2 coats. This is one that when I wore it, I really didn't want to take it off. It was absolutely stunning. Now, I didn't wear it this year, but I had wanted to put this on my spring rack because I was hoping to wear it again. I actually wore this sometime last year and just really enjoyed it. But yeah, look at those flakies. Those are just beautiful. And as you can see, in 2 coats, it got decently opaque. I'm pretty sure that's how I ended up wearing it myself. Longer nails, if you were worried about seeing your visible nail line, might need a 3rd, or just wear this over a blurring base coat or a white, depending on how you want it to look in the end. But yeah, really gorgeous polish there. One of my favorites. So that one was All Mixed Up Lacquers, Slushy Wasted. Next up is one from Ice Cream Nails, and this one is Wonder World. Now, the reason I put this one over in my topper section is because this one is pretty sheer, and I figured I would most likely be wearing this over other colors because even compared to some of my jelly bases in here, this one is really sheer, like really sheer. So as you can see, you do have a squishy blue base and then more of this larger particled shimmer, which of course I really enjoy. And this is it in 2 coats. As you can see, very sheer, so I would definitely be using this as a topper over other colors. As you can see, you got a beautiful wash of pink in those larger particles, and then they do shift to a bit of gold. I want to say there's probably other colors that you'll see, maybe a little bit of orange as well, depending on how the light hits it. But that one was Ice Cream Nails, Wonder World. Next up is one from LA Colors in their Color Craze line, and this one is Cocktail. Now, after I had had this on my nail rack, I actually pulled another one of these from, I think, a mystery box, and turns out something was wrong with this bottle that I have that I had gotten previously in a mystery box, but this one has a much lighter pink coloration in these glitters, but I really like how this one ended up looking when I did a swatch test when I pulled this from wherever I got this, which was either a mystery box or a Goodwill bag. But yeah, I mean, it's got this soft, delicate pink shimmer. The glitters that it has in here also provide a nice, delicate glimmer on the nail as well. So here is Cocktail in 2 coats. As you can see, definitely a topper. This one is not going to get opaque on its own, but I like what it adds. It adds a nice twinkle, a little bit of glow, just a really nice, simple topper. I think this one would look amazing over just about any single color because it isn't strongly pink. It almost leans maybe like a bit rose gold because of how, I don't know, faded this bottle is, but I really like how that turned out, just soft and delicate. So that one was LA Colors Cocktail. Next up, we have another topper from LA Colors. This one is Pink Sugar, and this is another one where I'm really not sure if it was meant to be worn on its own, but it is definitely a sheer shimmer polish. You have this nice crystally look in the particles that you have. You've got this glow to them, and I'm seeing shifts between like light peach and green, a light pink as well. Here's Pink Sugar in 2 coats. As you can see, it'll add that nice just wash of a glow over whatever color you decide to wear it over. Or if you wanted to wear it in 3 coats on its own, I mean, you're not going to get opaque, at least not very. This is it in 2 coats. I don't see it adding too much more opacity in a 3rd coat, but you could definitely get a nice soft glow on your nails. So I thought it would make a really nice topper for spring. So that one was LA Colors Pink Sugar. And then the last one that it fits on my nail polish rack anyways comes from NYC. This one is French Manicure, and this one also is on the shearer side, similar to that last one from LA Colors, where you would think in the bottle that you'd have a bit more color when you put it on, but this one definitely shears out into kind of a Your Nails But Better, which might be what they were sort of going for here with that French Manicure name. So you have that very pastel sheer peach base, and then it's loaded with that shifting shimmer, which I thought was really unusual to have in an inexpensive mainstream brand. So you've got that like pink to fuchsia with a pinch of green, and it goes to a brighter pink there. So I thought this would look really nice over a bunch of colors for spring, at a bit of pop of color. Here it is in 2 coats, so as you can see, definitely sheared out, but look at those colors. That is so pretty. You can see purples, the green, of course, across the top of the nail where it's catching the light. You've got pink towards the edges. Such a soft, beautiful color. So I didn't get a chance to play around with this one this year, but maybe next year. That's NYC's French Manicure. So that was the last one that fit onto my rack, but I did swatch 2 more that I had hopes of wearing. The first one was from Scofflaw, and this one is Lavender Francaise. I thought this would be a really cute one to pull out for spring. You have this beautiful lavender color. I feel like on camera it's pulling a little bit bluer, but it's definitely a lavender shade. And then you have these matte green glitters. You've got soft lavender glitters in here, a larger particled shimmer, which you can see there in a softer green and blue. And then those darker purples that you're seeing are actually those light purple metallic glitters that are just in shade depending on the angle that you're looking at them at. So kind of like you have an additional glitter in there. So here's that one in 2 coats. Again, a beautiful lavender shade, and I like the addition of those green glitters in here. So this is another one that I didn't get a chance to wear this spring, but maybe next spring. So that one was Scofflaw's Lavender Francaise. And then the second one that I was hoping to wear was from Native War Paints, and this one is Strawberry Swirl. This one is just a perfect spring polish. You have this baby pink base loaded with a bunch of different colors of pink glitters as well as a bit of red in there. You've got metallic. I want to say there's a few different colors that are in hollow. You've got these itty bitty square glitters as well. So a beautiful mix. And here's that one in 2 coats. Again, such a cute color for spring. This is another one that I didn't get around to wearing, but I will definitely be trying to remember to put this on next year's spring rack. This reminds me of candies or a milkshake. It's just a very cute springy mix there. So that last one from part 4 is Native War Paints Strawberry Swirl. And there we have it. That was part 4 of my spring rack for 2023. Let me know down below which ones were your favorites. If you want to see more spring polishes, definitely make sure to check out the list down below of all of the other participants in this collaboration. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me and looking at beautiful polish. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.